Yeah, look at this. This is nuts. This is nuts. This is a graph of reported crime in downtown Cincinnati. And 2023 looks like there was about 518 reported crimes. In 2024, there was 652. Now in 2025, reported like violent crime in Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, and we're only in July. There's 995 incidences like what happened the other night reported in downtown Cincinnati. Something needs to change. Something needs to change. They asked the police chief, like, well, where were the officers? And like, well, there was 2 on duty and they were in their vehicles trying to get to the incident. But yet no one was taken to the hospital. No one was, the people that were there with the victims, took them home and bandaged them up or did whatever, but they were never questioned. No one, the state hasn't reached out to anybody. No detective has reached out to anybody. Well, I think maybe one detective reached out to the female who just happened to be there at a birthday party at the jazz festival. She was just there for a friend. And she ends up getting jumped like that well, really, there's no reason to be jumped like that by a mob. But 995 reported crimes by, let's just say, the end of July. So there's still 5 months left. And that's already almost double of what it was in just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago, it's been doubled. Something needs to change. That police chief needs to step down. She absolutely does. And I think when this new governor gets in, this Vivek, he's going to get elected in Cincinnati. He's an amazing cat. But I think he's going to be making some changes in his justice department. And I know that's all on the city and county level, those police departments, but the governor still can. If the governor's attorney general has to step in too many times, that he's going to call for that person to resign, and he has the power to do that. But let's watch this. I was saving this for just to do a pre-recorded show, but let's go ahead and just watch this. This is Benny Johnson on the subject.
So what the hell's going on with Holly? No one has even asked. Nobody from the state even reached out to her. Can you believe this? No law enforcement has even attempted to find out the story of the woman who is sadly the poster child for anti-white racialized animalistic violence in this country. Vivek did, though. And here's what he has to say. I spoke with Holly earlier today, the woman who was tragically assaulted in Cincinnati, and she's a single working mom who went to a friend's birthday party. It's unconscionable that there were no police present in the area of Cincinnati on Friday night. Or
real quick, thank you, Mr. Temple. Mr. Temple says, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ abound in all your lives. Thank you so much. May he.
Even as an ambulance was able to take her to the hospital. Hard work if there was no ambulance available? That's new information. That's insane. Hardworking Americans shouldn't have to worry about their safety when they have a good time in our cities. Holly said not a single local or state official had reached out to her as of this afternoon. Not a single state or local official. This is an attempted murder. Like, you'd think you'd want to get her a story, right? But nothing. Other than one police detective. Leftists like to lecture us about systemic injustice while thugs turn our cities into a war zone. I'm done with their excuses as governor. I'm going to make sure that they're behind bars, not running wild. Our cops will have the green light to restore order. No apologies. Holly appreciates the kind words and prayers from patriots across the country. Oh, because we started to talk about this.
Already in this case in Cincinnati. That was just a little bit about Holly and the governor to be contact with her. I want to get to the news conference that the police chief made and comment on that.
Yes. Not the corporate media, but because influencers and people who have audiences organically and independently online were able to see this story, came to the aid of this poor couple. And now there are 5 who have been charged in the horrifying viral Cincinnati brawl that left a woman knocked out in the cold. I mean, listen, man, punching a man's one thing, but punching a middle-aged woman twice in the jaw to knock her out cold, son of a bitch. 5 people have been charged. Who are raising these people? No one, actually. I mean, that's right. This is what a lack of father.
Son of a bitch, indeed. And Abby, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Welcome to the After the Bars podcast. You are in good hands with this community. This community is amazing. They are very supporting with any issues that you might have. We're also a recovery channel, so we talk a lot about just hope, staying, keeping in sobriety, all the many paths we talk about. I just did a show on addiction. Is it a choice or is it a disease? So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Really, really appreciate you. All right, let's get back to it.
Motherhood looks like, right? Punching a woman out because of her skin color in the middle of the street, a middle-aged woman, single mom, working class single mom. She get punched in the street, right? This is what a lack of fatherhood actually does. This is what a lack of discipline does. It's sick. It's tribal. It's a zero trust society. It needs to be fixed. And the way you fix it is obviously destroy their lives. Destroy every life of every person who was filming too. Charge them as accessories to the crime. There were hundreds of people who witnessed this and they only got one 911 call. People liked this. They wanted to see it. They wanted to upload the videos to WorldStar. They didn't want to help. So charge them all. Put them all in prison.
Do you guys remember the final episode of Seinfeld? The final episode of Seinfeld is they see somebody getting attacked. And in the end, Jerry, Kramer, George, Elaine, they all go to prison. They all go to jail because they just sat there and watched the attack happen. And because there's laws, and especially in New York and in Los Angeles, that if at the very minimum you call 911, at the most you would help someone as long as you keep safe. If it hurts you too, it's like saving somebody in a flood. Like, yes, try to save them, but if it's going to take your life away too, then of course, don't risk your life to save that for first responders. But if you're not dialing 911 and you're recording, then first responders can't come to the aid or rescue. So there are some laws on the books in different states, different municipalities. I should do a show on that.
5 people have been charged over a vicious beatdown Cincinnati street after a brawl footage went viral. The suspects' names were not released. Interesting. Okay, so protect the criminals. Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Tedage, we'll get to her in a second, declined to specify the charges, but cautioned that more arrests are expected. We have 5 that have been charged and anticipate more, Tedage told reporters 2 days after the 3 a.m. Saturday incident that she referred to as a fight. According to online videos, the fight consisted of mobs stomping the head of a man cowering in downtown street, while a woman was cold-cocked and knocked out, blood pouring from her mouth as she tried to intervene. What the hell is this? What the hell is this archetype? Why does every police chief in America suddenly look like the Wicked Witch? Or Nurse Ratched? Or like angry librarian?
You guys are old enough to know who Nurse Ratched is, right? It was the nurse from One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Do you guys remember that movie with Jack Nicholson? Great movie. Nurse Ratched was awesome. The actress who played her was awesome. But just a great movie, great show. But yeah, Nurse Ratched looks pretty much like this lady.
This is the police chief here. However, she tried to downplay the brawl, calling the weekend outside of this incident An amazing success for the city. Oh, got it. Okay, explaining that there was a baseball game and a music festival happening.
An amazing success because there was only this one incident with a music festival, a big baseball game that was happening, and so this is a success. I get the meaning, like, oh, at least there's only one and not 10, but there shouldn't be any, and if there is one, it shouldn't be a racial attack on a white couple.
We had one incident late Friday night, one incident that nearly led to the murder of a innocent woman. It's getting all the attention and undoing all the good stuff that happened this weekend. These people are insufferable. She needs to lose her job over this. There's no update given on the condition of the targets of the assaults. Tidage says that she didn't know anybody was didn't know if anybody was hospitalized afterwards, but that the victims appeared to be well and could be as well as could be expected. What a monster. Vivek Ramaswamy, obviously, we've covered that. Talked about it. So under, first off, the Trump administration is taking this seriously. Harmeet Dillon said that there may be civil rights violations that she's going to charge. Pam Bondi has ordered the FBI to get involved in the incident where gangs of people are seen beating individuals. The FBI is already conducting interviews with suspects and investigating. This is obviously a predicate in order to get potential civil rights violation charges if they're found to have targeted these people on a racialized.
And look, I know Benny's going to talk about this too here in a second, but I talked about it the other night. The FBI definitely needs to get involved because if it's a hate crime, that's the difference between a 6-month sentence. And I talked about this 2 nights ago, a 6-month sentence and a possible 25-year to life sentence. So people need to be careful when they're committing crimes like this, when they're doing this mob mentality and they're jumping people for their color, no matter if it's white against black or black against white. You can do significant time. And it's not one of those cases where you are just, oh, that's the max, but you're probably only going to do, a year. No, that's a minimum mandatory. Some of those hate crimes have. It could be a minimum mandatory of 20. So people need to be careful.
Basis, then you can make this a federal issue. And while you may get 6 months in jail on a state charge, you get 25 years to life in prison if it's seen that you're targeting people because of their race. So great job to the Trump administration. Horrible job to the local authorities here. Yeah, sure, you charged 5 people. It took you a number of days to even do a press conference about it. The only reason they're even doing this woke old Nurse Ratched here is because of the outrage online. And by the way, she's seething about it. An absolutely wild clip here. Cincinnati Police Chief Terry Tidage attacks people who have been sharing the videos of a black mob attacking a white couple. She claims the footage is distorted and misrepresented what happened. Instead of blaming the violent thugs on camera, she's pointing the finger at social media in an absolutely obscene clip here. Remember, you're the problem for noticing. Here you go.
Another topic I want to cover real quick. Social media and journalism and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you. That is you. The social media, the post that we've seen, does not depict the entire incident. That is one version of what occurred. At times, social media and mainstream media.
Doesn't matter if that's one version that occurred. Any version is wrong when it became the mob. Now, if it was just 2 people fighting, that's different. But when it became a mob attacking someone because, somebody else seemed like, oh man, there's a white girl getting beat up over there. Let's go stomp. Let's go throw in a foot stomp. Yeah, there you go, white bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the mentality. We seen it. We watched it. It can be no other context. Who cares how it started?
and their commentaries are a misrepresentation of the circumstances surrounding any given event. What that does, that causes us some difficulties in thoroughly investigating the activity and enforcing the law. Because what happens, that social media post and your coverage of it distorts the content of what actually happened.
We've seen what actually happened. So basically she's saying, you know, don't believe your lying eyes of what happened. Doesn't matter how it started. It doesn't. Just think of, I won't even say it, but we all know what I'm thinking. Just think of what the very worst can be of how that started. It still doesn't justify, and that's what this lady is saying, this police chief. She's saying that if we knew the whole story, our commentary here on YouTube and in other places wouldn't be misinformation. But we're not, this isn't misinformation. I don't care how it started. I know how it ended.
And it makes our job more difficult. Go ahead, right here.
Thank you. 2 questions. Where were the nearest officers?
In the central business section. They were working. They were both in vehicles. And like I said, they had to maneuver through the traffic.
My second question is, you had said social media, news media distorted the content of what actually happened. What exactly was distorted? I understand that there was multiple views of the video, but exactly what led up to this? I mean, what was distorted?
Yeah, so I think by the irresponsibility with social media is it just shows one side of the equation quite frequently without context, without factual context. And then
it pisses me off every time she effing says it. It really does. It really does. And not because I'm a creator. No, that's not why I'm pissed. It pisses me off because like I'm just a creator. I'm an ex-systems engineer, and I have a little bit of brains, but I'm not that articulate and succinct, and I'm not a police chief. I'm not a criminal major, whatever that old major everyone used to get, a law and crime major or criminal. Man, I can't even think of the name of it. See, I'm an idiot. This person is in this position, and now she's spreading misinformation, or at the very least saying like, you guys all suck, and now we can't investigate this right because the media doesn't have all the facts. We don't need facts. We see the facts. Again, the very worst possibility known to man, which we all know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, could have happened, still doesn't justify what happened.
People run with that, and then it grows legs.
Either
and it
way,
becomes something
black
bigger
or white,
that we then have to try to manage as part of the investigation. So hold on.
Matt Walsh saying, are there any male police chiefs left in this country? It seems like every law enforcement press conference I've seen this year has been.
I love Matt Walsh. That's who I seen that from first in the beginning. Are there any like male police chiefs anymore?
And a female police chief that looks like an ill-tempered librarian. Today's dispatch from the Longhouse. Cincinnati police chief chastises media for showing footage of a black mob attacking white people. Yeah, really makes you wonder. She's, by the way, being sued by her own officers for breach of trust, for lack of safety and decorum, for only this individual is being sued for only promoting women and minorities among her workforce. So it really does make you wonder, what's the what's the motivation here? Motivation should be to have a safe streets in Cincinnati, but that's not happening.
So when we asked, she would not describe what those charges were or whether they've located the people facing those charges. DG called everything seen in the videos unacceptable.
Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on.
Okay, now the things we talked about around where this investigation stands. The EG says more than 100 people were in the area and they only got one 911 call. She says that people should be angry about that. As for our role in the vast spread of this story on social media, she called on everyone to do better to show all sides. Now, I asked her why the department waited days to hold a press conference addressing the incident, allowing information to spread unchecked. On that, Chief DG said that she was waiting for investigators to do their jobs and that putting information out too early would be irresponsible. She did not address how all of this started as far as they're concerned. At downtown headquarters, I'm Sean Delancey, WC.
Right, but we're all taking it out of context, but how does she know that? Because for real, she doesn't. Because while she waited till she had more information from the investigators, she has no reason, or she would have stated it anyways.
CPO 9 News.
Listen to this.
Cincinnati Police is asking anyone with information about this big fight to contact Crime Stoppers and Cincinnati Police. And this weekend's violence adds to growing concerns downtown. In 2022, there were 590 reported crimes by this time of the year. So that number rose to ended up to 652. And so far in 2025, we're already at 995. And that's raising some serious questions about safety and what the city is doing to address it. Of course.
Well, it's not safe.
What a nightmare.
It's not safe. If you're the minority in downtown Cincinnati, you can't go down there. So, man, I bet you the restaurant owners and the nightclub owners are real happy about that. That needs to be addressed, like ASAP. The Cincinnati Reds were my favorite baseball team, and that was living in Los Angeles, growing up in LA. I was a Dodger fan, but I was a big time Cincinnati Reds fan. So I do have an affinity for Cincinnati. And I don't know, it just needs to be fixed. It definitely needs to be fixed.